Well, I'm joined now from the home of Lego, that is Billund in Denmark, by Jorgen Vig Knudstorp, who is the CEO of the Lego Group. It is lovely to have you on Counting the Cost again. You are the world's biggest toy maker. Is it that fact and the simplicity, if you like, of what you create which keeps you out of trouble during any times of economic downturn?
I think we are in a position of strength and in a pretty good position. It's also because when I look at the company through more than 80 years, I see that we are, of course, correlated to the growth in the world economy on such a long stretch. But when I look at it in a 5 or 10 year perspective, we are not that impacted by how the world economy is developing, because it's really more about the strength of the Lego product, how well it's performing, how it's irresistible and irreplaceable to children all over the world, that really impacts our opportunity to grow even in an economic downturn.
Oh, so are you just basically saying that it's because you're Lego? Other toys go in and out of fashion, but Lego doesn't?
At least Lego has managed with the core Lego brick experience to stay relevant through generations now. And then of course our job is how do we make it thematically relevant? What are the exciting things that children now can do with Lego bricks, and how can we engage children through digital media and digital play experiences that combine and integrate with the physical play in interesting ways?
Okay, thematically relevant, you said there. To me that brings two words to mind, Star and Wars. That must have been a huge kick for you, the movie coming out and then
Yes.
another one's to come.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal news for us, and we loved the movie. We thought it was really revitalizing the Star Wars franchise. But I think also it's fair to say that in the years between the movies, Lego has really been a very important experience that kept Star Wars alive in the minds of many children. I hear so often that children get first introduced to Star Wars through Lego Star Wars. And so for us, we feel it's always been important. We've been working with Star Wars since 1999. And so of course now the very successful return of the movies is very good news for us, and something that we were very excited about.
So then is it, well, what are effectively joint ventures like that? Is that the way that you will, as you wish to do, and you've stated this, quadruple sales in less than a decade? Because that is a very tall order.
Yes. I think what's important to say about that is that still the majority of the Lego portfolio, more than 60%, and also the majority of the growth we're realizing is coming from Lego's own launch of products and new innovations, which of course also now includes aspects such as the Lego Movie, Lego Ninjago, and now this year Lego Nexonites, which also has a TV series. So we are driving the growth on our own expense and account, if you like. And then we are very selective in certain partnerships with partners such as Disney, that now has Star Wars, Marvel heroes, and also Pixar movies such as Frozen, which have been very important properties for us to associate with. But we have to be quite careful here, because there are so many properties, so many movies being launched all the time, and it's all about the Lego brick at the end of the day. So it's a careful balance, and we're very, very selective in what partners we work with.
Yes, Frozen, very familiar with that one as I have a daughter. Let's just be geographical for a moment. I'm wondering where your strength lies in the world, or is it just, all over the world? I think about the downturn in China, Europe's still recovering as well. What sort of effects are these slowdowns having on the brick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think what's interesting is that it appears that the Lego idea is appealing everywhere in the world. And so at least when I look at last year, we saw very strong growth in North America and also in Europe, but even higher growth in places like Brazil, China, Japan. So clearly there are markets where we still have a lot of children we need to reach that we are currently not engaging with. And those are the markets where we have the highest growth potential and the longest growth potential. And China is, of course, the jewel in the crown right there for us. But I think we are one of these companies that are also managing to book very significant and impressive organic growth even in our well-established markets, as long as we can continue to innovate on the basis of the brick. Good recent example from the last 3 to 4 years is our introduction of themes more relevant for girls, bringing even more girls into the Lego portfolio of products.
Just finally, Jorgen, for all the positive talk we've had in this interview, our viewers may not know that Lego is actually something of a turnaround story. Things weren't going well in the late 1990s, the early 2000s, and the company was eventually turned around. Now, what did you learn from that you can apply now to keep the business profitable and to keep the business growing?
Yeah, I think the main lesson for us is to be very stubbornly almost focused on a core product idea, this idea of putting bricks together and having them act as if they were glued, and yet they are easy to take apart. It's an incredibly simple business idea, but by staying very focused on that one, we can then introduce complexity in terms of the number of countries we cover. So very narrow product focus, very clear brand proposition, really focusing on where we have unique strengths and are globally competitive, but then expanding globally and leveraging digital technology in a very skillful way. Those would be the main lessons from us coming out of that turnaround situation.
Jorgen Vig Knudstorp from, well, Legoland, actually. Great talking to you. Thank you for your time.